Our top story now, the BJP planning to achieve record COVID vaccinations today on the 71st birthday of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It's a day which the party has been celebrating as the Seva Divas, that's the day of service, since 2014. But this year, in view of Prime Minister Modi's 20 years in public life, his days as the Chief Minister of Gujarat included, the party's outreach program has been extended to a 20-day celebration. As part of the celebrations, the BJP has pitched record COVID vaccinations of the day as its major agenda. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia on Thursday called on people to get themselves vaccinated and also help others who are yet to receive their shot. The BJP has also planned to distribute 14 crore ration bags with the picture of the Prime Minister printed on them to the people. And further, BJP booth workers will send 5 crore postcards to the Prime Minister highlighting their commitment to public service. Now, the Akali Dal is planning a protest march today in Delhi to mark 1 year of passing of the farm laws in Parliament as well as resignation of H.K. Badal from the cabinet. A large number of Akali supporters have reached Delhi and are putting up in Gurudwaras, but they have been denied permission by the Delhi police. Also, the Akali Dal leadership is claiming that their workers are being blocked from entering Delhi and that there have been barricades that have been put up around some of the Gurudwaras. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will be chairing the 45th Goods and Service Tax Council meeting today in Lucknow, the first on-ground meeting in around 20 months, as the last such meeting was conducted in 2019 before restrictions were enforced due to the COVID pandemic. Now, the council will consider bringing petrol then diesel under the ambit of indirect tax, according to reports. But Kerala and Maharashtra governments have said that they will oppose any such move to bring petrol and diesel under the GST regime. Well, let's go across to Sunil Prabhu for more. And Sunil, tell us more about what's on the agenda, also this contentious issue of bringing fuel under the GST regime.
Well, Gargi, as you are well aware and as you rightly pointed out, this is the first meeting in terms of offline meeting, and Nirmala Sitharaman will be meeting her counterparts. Of course, one of that, and it is not the first time, please remember that petrol and diesel to be included in GST, there has been discussions on this. This has been a deal breaker among states. They have never accepted it. In fact, many states have already been quite upset with the fact that they believe that GST hasn't been the answer as it was when it was introduced, as being a great, GDP multiplier as it was envisaged. And it's in that backdrop that even though the Kerala High Court has ruled state after state, just not Kerala, Maharashtra, but other states have made it very clear that they don't want to give up their share in terms of what they believe is their way of taxing and being able to ensure revenue for their respective states. So they will definitely be opposing it. It's a little bit too early in the stage, but nevertheless, the centre wanting to bring this discussion so as to make that political point, as well as to ensure that in the long term they will be able to send that message that they are attempting to rationalize the taxation system where petrol and diesel are being taxed very, very high. In fact, one of the highest in the world in comparison to our neighboring countries and elsewhere. While petrol and crude prices can ensure that the consumer can get it less, we are still paying at three figures in Delhi at more than 100 rupees. So it's in that backdrop that the centre wants to bring in the GST, but states have their own sovereign right in terms of taxation, which they are not ready to let go. Having said that, the other issue, and I think the most important contentious issue, is about the fact that the GST regime in terms of cess, in terms of compensation to states, especially those who are states which have been making money and have had a loss. There was an assurance that was given that for 5 years, based on the 2015-16 prices at a rate of 14%, they would get compensation. That is now coming up for review because it's going to end, and the states now have to take a political call, and the centre, both the GST about how long can it be extended. There is definitely a demand that it needs to be extended. Can the centre afford to do it? Can the GST afford to do it? These are some of the deliberations, but unlikely that there will be any kind of deliverables or some kind of decision in this meeting. This will be an opening, an opportunity for everybody to speak out their minds, but it will take a few more meetings before they can address certain other nuts and bolts of these issues.
All right, Sunil, thanks so much for joining us there with all those details. News now from Karnataka, and another protest was held in Mysuru on Thursday against the demolition of a temple by Karnataka government authorities in Mysuru district. The temple near Nanjangud had been demolished as part of a drive to clear temples from public land. But several groups had objected to this move on Tuesday, and Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai had halted all such demolitions. Thursday's protest near the Mysuru Palace by the Hindu Jagran Vedike and other groups saw slogans being raised against the BJP government in the state. And not just that, BJP MPs Pratap Simha and Tejaswi Surya on Thursday faced anger of protesters during a visit to Chikmagalur. Protesters questioned the demolition of the temples in the state. They were in Mudigere town to inaugurate a private hospital when the MPs were surrounded, as you can see in those visuals. Activists shouted slogans seeking justice, and they sought an explanation from both the MPs over this issue of the temple demolition. Now, the site of the Ram temple in Ayodhya, where phase 1 of construction is almost complete, was showcased by the Ram Janmabhoomi Trust for the first time on Thursday. Officials of the trust said the construction will meet the deadline and that the temple will be open for devotees just before 2024 Lok Sabha polls. NDTV's Alok Pandey was there. Here's his report.
The Ram temple construction in Ayodhya will meet its December 2023 deadline just before the Lok Sabha polls. And phase 1 of construction is almost over. The temple trust has confirmed, as it showcased for the first time, the 10-acre actual construction area within the Ram Janmabhoomi complex. I'm sure you can see that flag over there. Now that is the place where Prime Minister Modi last year carried out the Bhumi Pujan of the Ram temple, and that is where the idol of Lord Ram will be established.
नाउ जब हम खुदाई चालू किया और करीबन 40 फुट हम लोग नीचे गए। नीचे जाने का मेन कारण था कि जो भी लूज अर्थ यहाँ पे था, यहाँ पे मलबा वगैरह था, उसको पूरा निकाल के वहाँ हमने अच्छा सा उसको कॉम्पैक्शन वगैरह किया और उसके बाद में उसकी वापस भराई चालू किया।
Around 4 lakh cubic feet of stone and marble from Rajasthan will be used for the temple, which will stand 161 feet over the sanctum sanctorum. There will be no use of steel or bricks. While the Ram Temple Trust says that the construction of the temple here is progressing as per deadline and that it will be ready by December 2023, the same trust has also faced a host of questions about land deals that they have done around the vicinity of this site for other buildings that are supposed to come up. With Kamal Khan and camera person Rajesh Gupta, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Following the Enforcement Directorate's raids on 3 locations linked to activist Harsh Mandar, over 600 people, including academics, journalists, filmmakers, activists and lawyers, have come out in his support. In a joint statement, they have said the Constitution of India and law of the land shall prevail, exposing these intimidatory tactics exactly for what they are, an abuse of state institutions to try and curtail all our rights. The signatories include historian Raj Mohan Gandhi, advocates Prashant Bhushan and Indira Jai Singh, activist Medha Patkar, economist Jean Drez, and they have said in the statement that Mr. Mandar and the Centre for Equity Studies that he heads has been subjected to continued harassment by multiple state agencies over the past year. The Enforcement Directorate on Thursday conducted searches on the premises linked to the former IS officer and social activist in connection with an alleged money laundering probe. In fact, the state Says Constitution of India and the law of the land shall prevail, exposing these intimidatory tactics for what they are, an abuse of state institutions to try and curtail all our rights. The current raids by the ED and IT departments are to be viewed in this context as part of the continuing chain of abuse of state institutions to threaten, intimidate and try and silence every critic of the present government. Now, a brand new cabinet took oath in Gujarat on Thursday with Bhupendra Patel at its head, overriding protests by former ministers who had who had to step down along with former Chief Minister Vijay Rupani last week. Now, the outcome was inevitable, with Prime Minister Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah pushing for a no-repeat formula ahead of next year's assembly elections in the state.
An entire government, right from the Chief Minister downwards, sacked in the home state of Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah. First-time MLA Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel will now be working with a fresh set of 24 ministers, 10 cabinet and 14 ministers of state.
Gujarat રાજ્યના મુખ્યમંત્રી તરીકેના મારા કર્તવ્યો.
An unprecedented decision demonstrated in a unique ceremony, all ministers taking oath in a chorus.
હું રાજેન્દ્ર સૂર્યપ્રસાદ ત્રિવેદી, હું જીતેન્દ્રભાઈ સૌજીભાઈ વાઘાણી.
Decisions on the new cabinet were approved and cleared in New Delhi, with Amit Shah approving all the names cleared by General Secretary Organisation B.L. Santosh. Gujarat in charge Bhupendra Yadav and State Party Chief C.R. Patil. The new cabinet has greater representation of youth, has more people from South Gujarat and addresses caste equations with Patidars and OBCs in the mix.
सरकार के लोगों को पार्टी में काम करना चाहिए और पार्टी में काम करने वाले को सरकार में स्थान मिलना ही चाहिए. ये आदर्श बात है. अभी तक किसी ने ये पालन नहीं किया था. पहली बार हो रहा है.
जो पार्टी काम करती है वह पार्टी अपने नए नेतृत्व को भी उभारते हुए सार्वजनिक जीवन में नए नेतृत्व को नए अनुभवों को विस्तार देने के लिए, सामाजिक रूप से नए लोगों को प्रतिनिधित्व देने के लिए एक नई परंपरा के साथ काम कर रही है.
The move is being seen as an effort to contain anti-incumbency 14 months ahead of the polls in Gujarat, also to blunt the progress made by the Aam Aadmi Party in the recently concluded Surat municipal polls. The big question is whether a no-repeat government will propel a repeat. The opposition feels this change is cosmetic and the people will see through it.
The Gujarat government came in for a lot of criticism for the manner in which it handled the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. But with two CMs in Uttarakhand gone, B.S. Yediyurappa's exit in Karnataka and Vijay Rupani and his entire cabinet being replaced in Gujarat, alarm bells are ringing for other chief ministers too. Himachal Pradesh's Jairam Thakur was in the national capital to meet the top brass of the party. But he dismissed speculation of his removal as rumours. Another Chief Minister, Manohar Lal Khattar, also in Delhi to meet the Prime Minister, but the official reason given was that he wanted to wish the Prime Minister on his birthday. Now, the big question is, who all get to say thank you PM Modi for staying on as Chief Minister in their respective states? With Sanket Upadhyay in New Delhi, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
In a major announcement which will help banks deal with bad loans, the finance minister on Thursday announced the setting up of a so-called bad bank which will manage bad debt for banks. The minister said that the cabinet has approved a central government guarantee of up to the tune of 30,600 crore which would be given to the National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited for a period of 5 years.
But more importantly,
pitching this as a major banking reform, the government has announced the creation of a bad bank to resolve 2 lakh crores of bad loans, technically known as non-performing assets.
The only thing which, as was promised in the union budget of 21-22, is to set up the National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited so that those assets which are sitting in the balance sheet of banks, which are NPAs, for which provisioning has been done, full provisioning has been done over the last few years, there will now be an asset reconstruction company which will aggregate all this, which will therefore result in banks' balance sheets and books being cleaner, transparent.
The government is putting in 30,600 crores, but only for a period of 5 years. This will be a guarantee to the regular banks to use the bad bank to offload their assets. 16 other banks will be putting and investing 16,000 crores, beginning with a small tranche of 15%.
It is a natural way of an incentive or disincentive, you may say, that beyond 5 years, if they delay the process, then they can no longer invoke the guarantee. It gets extinguished.
In the first phase, the bad bank will take over and dispose of 90,000 crores of stress assets. The pandemic has added urgency to the move with the severe economic shock of the lockdown and businesses shutting down. The RBI recently projected that even in the best case scenario, gross non-performing assets will rise from 9.5% last year to between 12.5 and almost 14% this year.
The concept of a bad bank is a new concept in India, and definitely all eyes will be on how it succeeds, especially in an emerging economy. The focus, of course, will be to ensure that those stress assets are monetized at the earliest. With camera person Prem Singh, Sunil Prabhu, NDTV.
With that, time for us to slip into a short break. Coming up on the other side, Shilpa Shetty listed as a witness in the Mumbai police's charge sheet in the case involving her husband. Welcome back. Actor Shilpa Shetty has been listed as a witness in the Mumbai police's charge sheet against her jailed husband Raj Kundra, who's accused of producing and streaming porn on mobile apps. Now, according to the 1,400-page charge sheet, Shilpa Shetty told the police she was not aware of her husband's activities as she was busy with her own work. "I was too busy with work. I did not know what Raj Kundra was up to," the actor and reality show judge says in a statement included in the charge sheet filed before the Mumbai court. Shilpa Shetty's statement also says she didn't even know of the controversial apps Hot Shots or Bolly fame, both linked to the porn racket. The actor, who visited the Vaishno Devi shrine, has not commented on the charge sheet or the statement that quotes her. Two well-known individuals, one a popular actor with no apparent political leaning, Sonu Sood, and the other a former IAS officer, a well-known activist and a critic of the Modi government, Harsh Mandar, were both subjected to raids by the central agencies, once again leading to questions and allegations that these agencies are being used to target opponents of the ruling dispensation at the centre.
Raids by central agencies on two personalities, actor Sonu Sood and ex-IAS officer Harsh Mandar, well known for helping migrants and others who suffered the brunt of the lockdown. Income tax officials investigating actor Sonu Sood have spent 2 days at his residence.
With very little known about the nature of the investigation, many are saying that Sonu Sood's decision to become the brand ambassador for the Desh Ka Mentors program of the Aam Aadmi Party-led government in Delhi is the reason he's facing the heat from the income tax department, with officials landing up at his home for the second consecutive day.
IT sources claim there was a land deal between Sood's company and a Lucknow-based real estate company, and that they suspect that there was suppressing of registration value and tax evasion. The Shiv Sena said the action was the result of a Talibani mindset.
लोकप्रिय कलाकार सोनू सूद, इनके विविध प्रॉपर्टीज पर इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट के रेड पड़ रहे हैं और कहा जाता है कि जब से सोनू सूद आप गवर्नमेंट के ब्रांड एम्बेसडर बने हैं, इसी वजह से उनको ये सब झेलना पड़ रहा है। इसे तालिबानी मानसिकता ही कहना चाहिए।
जहां पर इनकी खुद की सरकारें हैं, वहां पर कोई कार्रवाई की जाती है तो वह कार्रवाई पारदर्शी, पर इनकम टैक्स से लेकर के सीबीआई ईडी कोई कार्रवाई करे तो वो कार्रवाई शक के कटघरे में कैसे हो सकती है? यह कांग्रेस के साथ विपक्ष की ओछी मानसिकता का परिचायक है।
An enforcement directorate team raided activist Harsh Mandar's home and office, and even a children's shelter home. Mandar is travelling abroad.
The Enforcement Directorate, taking cognizance of Delhi Police FIR dated February this year on allegations of financial irregularities at Harsh Mandar's NGO Centre for Equity Studies, has initiated a money laundering probe. Sources in ED say as the Delhi Police FIR showed scheduled offences like criminal breach of trust, criminal conspiracy and cheating, the agency has registered a PMLA case and carried out searches at his residential premises and also at his official premises.
While Harsh Mandar has been a critic of the government, Sonu Sood has so far steered clear of politics, apart from becoming a brand ambassador for an AAP government program in Delhi. Neither has responded, but Sood, who had put up this post of Arif Ansari, whom he had helped, came today to express his solidarity.
The raids at Harsh Mandar's home in New Delhi and Sonu Sood's home in Mumbai have once again raised questions about whether central agencies like the Enforcement Directorate and the Income Tax Department are being misused to target critics and opponents of the current dispensation in New Delhi. In Mumbai with camera person Praveen G. Rohit, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
4 scooters sold every second at the busiest times on the first day that Ola's new electric scooter was up for sale. The response was overwhelming for the company itself, which is closing the sales at midnight tonight. And the sale is through an app and delivery starts in October to the customer's home. Maya Sharma spoke to Ola Electric's Chief Marketing Officer, Varun Dubey.
Onto the Indian roads, the Ola electric scooter. Now, it was launched a while ago, but sales actually began this week. And joining us, Varun Dubey, who is Chief Marketing Officer of Ola Electric. So, sales started, people putting their money now on this scooter. What has the response been like?
The response has been amazing. We're really humbled by the love and the enthusiasm consumers have shown for the product. Right from the day we started reservations a couple of months ago, we launched last month in August 15th, and then we started purchase yesterday. And the scooters are really flying off the shelves. We're selling 4 scooters every second.
4 scooters every second are being sold.
Yes, 4 scooters every second. So I think it's very clear that consumers have really committed to electric. We sold about 600 crores worth of product yesterday, and I think that's roughly how much the entire two-wheeler industry sells in a day. So we outsold the entire two-wheeler industry in a day. So it's been what it means really to me is that the consumers are really ready to take electric forward. They want the best products, and with the Ola S1, that's what's happening. In fact, the demand has been so substantial and frankly a little unexpected for us. Although we are optimistic, we did not anticipate so much demand still. We are actually going to shut purchase today at midnight. So any of your viewers who have reserved but have not yet purchased, I encourage them to purchase that before 12 o'clock tonight, before midnight, so that we can make sure that we are able to deliver this.
Now, speaking of the future as well, in the old days people would come, try out the bike, take it for a ride, see if they liked it. That's not happening now. What is the buying process?
Oh, the buying process is simple. I think we've built one of the best, probably the best digital buying process ever made, certainly in the automotive experience. Consumers can come online, they can check the scooter out, and they can then just buy it in the app.
On the app?
On the app, that's it. And we have a fully digital process. Right now consumers are paying us the down payment of 20,000, and then as we get closer to their delivery timeline, they can pay us the balance again online, or they can take attractive loans from all the major banks. And then the scooter will just show up. We'll home deliver the scooter. It'll just show up in their house. We'll home deliver the scooter. Absolutely. Why do they need to go anywhere? They're our customers, right? We need to take care of their pain. So we will ensure that the scooter reaches them. And even service, etc., they can just book the appointment on the app, and somebody will come and solve it. They don't need to go anywhere.
What would you like to see? What kind of changes would you like to see in the ecosystem to actually encourage even more people to get electric?
I think if you look at the overall scenario, the policy environment is clearly very favorable. I think the government has done a lot. I don't think we need anything else from the government. The consumer is ready, right? Clearly, if you look at our numbers, consumers are speaking loud and clear, saying, "Hey, we want electric." I think the onus is now on the industry, really to build great products and put it out there for the consumer to see. And I'm sure consumers are going to pick those up. Right? They're certainly buying our scooters by the truckloads, so that's good. I think the other important point is that there is also someone has to look at this more holistically. Right? Electric has to be seen as an ecosystem play. For example, in our case, we built the Future Factory, which is the largest two-wheeler factory in the world, which certainly is coming in handy
to meet demand and 4 scooters a second. Yes,
absolutely. And what that has done is that beyond our own engineering that we have put in the scooter with the key products key components that we have made, the motor, the battery, the vehicle computers are all designed and made by us. It also fosters an entire ecosystem.
With Govind Murthy, Maya Sharma in Bengaluru for NDTV.
On Thursday, there was heavy rain across much of UP, Delhi and in parts of Kerala. Record rain in September reported in Varanasi, 200 millimeters in 24 hours, over 110 millimeters in Lucknow. A red rain alert was issued for the entire eastern region of UP yesterday.
Lucknow drenched in a late monsoon downpour, water inside homes in some places. And angry residents raising slogans against the municipal corporation.
As I try and head out for a shoot, this is what I see on the roads, water already accumulating. Electricity was out in my area for at least the last 6-7 hours. The light hasn't come back. We've got reports from many other parts of the city about how there's no electricity in those parts too. So this rain does not look like relenting, and if it does not relent, then there's going to be a big issue of waterlogging, of the lights being out.
There's been heavy rain across much of Uttar Pradesh, Delhi and in Kottayam. It's mid-September and the monsoon remains unrelenting. Record rain reported in Pratapgarh and Fursatganj in East Uttar Pradesh with close to 200 millimeters of rain. In Lucknow, it rained 107 millimeters, the highest in September since 2012. Rain in September is not unusual, but this late in September and with such intensity is extremely rare in Uttar Pradesh, Delhi and adjoining areas, as monsoon usually withdraws from the northern part of the country by this time of the year. Delhi so far has received a surplus of 333% in the month of September. It usually rains 139 millimeters, but over 400 millimeters has been received already. An orange category warning has been put into place for Delhi for the next 24 hours. However, showers will continue till the weekend. Met experts cite climate change as the reason.
In the month of September, one of the heaviest rain spell, or you can say rain amount of the season, that is 1146 millimeter rain has already occurred over Delhi and NCR, and a record of 46 years have also been broken.
This September is turning out to be a game changer, with the monsoon deficit from 9% at the beginning of this month down to 4% today. An extended monsoon season in the north is perhaps what it takes to bridge that gap. Divya Balpa for NDTV.
Residents of a village in Bihar's Katihar rushed to ATMs and banks to check their account statement. The reason being that two school children suddenly found that their accounts had crores of rupees overnight, and the villagers were hoping for a similar luck for them and made a dash to the bank. So what happened? Here's a report.
It may not look like much to a casual observer, but this remote village in Bihar had its 15 minutes of fame on 15th September. These two young boys, Ashish and Gurucharan Vishwas, suddenly had over 900 crore rupees in their bank accounts when they went to update their passbook. It left them and their families in shock and officials scrambling.
62 crore.
कौन खाता में है?
स्कूल वाला
किताब खरीदने। कौन सी का देता है पैसा उसमें?
किताब खरीदने के लिए।
इतना पैसा तो नहीं आता है?
नहीं, 905 करोड़।
अच्छा, कैसे पता चला?
खाता चेक करने गए थे ना।
हाँ, तो कौन सी के लिए खाता में पैसा आता है?
स्कूल का।
Their parents say both the boys went to check if the government's direct benefit cash transfer scheme had taken place.
किताब और राशि इसका पोशाक का पैसा निकालने गए तो करोड़ों करोड़ मेरा लड़का का पैसा घुसा है। 62 करोड़ रुपया घुसा है। ये सुन के घबरा गए कि इतना पैसा आया कहाँ, कैसे? इसके लिए जांच होना चाहिए।
The district administration blames glitches in the bank's computer system.
जो ब्रांच मैनेजर उनके द्वारा बताया गया कि जो उनका CBS कंप्यूटराइज्ड सिस्टम है, जो सेंट्रलाइज्ड है, उसमें कुछ त्रुटि हुई थी, इसीलिए ये जो स्टेटमेंट निकलता है उसमें ये परिलक्षित हो रहा था।
Life is almost back to normal for the children. However, the bank officials here may well be having sleepless nights. With Manish Kumar and Shyam in Katihar, Joshua Chin for NDTV.
The BJP is planning to achieve a record COVID vaccinations today on the 71st birthday of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It's a day the party has been celebrating as Seva Divas since 2014. This year, in view of Prime Minister Modi's 20 years in public service, including his days as Chief Minister of Gujarat, the party's outreach program has been extended to a 20-day celebration. Let's go across to Akshay now, who joins us from the BJP headquarters in Delhi. And Akshay, tell us about what's being planned. There on the cards is postcards to the Prime Minister. Also, ration will be distributed.
Well, Gargi, as far as the celebrations are concerned, right now we are in BJP headquarters. You can see that the decoration is already in place as far as the Seva and Samarpan Abhiyan is concerned. This is going to be a 20-day affair which will start on 17th September, that is today, on Prime Minister's birthday, and will continue till 7th of October. That is the day when Narendra Modi became Chief Minister for the first time. So both of these dates are extremely important for BJP as far as their big political push that is coming in these 20 days is concerned, because it's not just Pradhan Mantri's birthday, but also the party is planning to push as far as especially the states that are going to witness polls in the next year with all of the welfare schemes that have been going on in the tenure of Prime Minister, especially during the pandemic phase. That is the free vaccination that is going on right now as far as the country is concerned, and the ration distribution that has taken place ever since the lockdown was in place. So these two policies are of key importance for the Bharatiya Janata Party, especially Uttar Pradesh, and the party is going to organize blood donation camps. As you can see, there are posters for that already in place. There will be distribution of fruits in old age homes, at orphanages. The party is also planning to distribute prosthetic limbs to the differently able people. So all of these events that have been planned are to show that what exactly are the works that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has done as far as tenure is concerned, and that is going to be a big push by the BJP. Remains to be seen that how many of these the policies are concerned. They will continue for a long time as far as the ration distribution is concerned. That is set to go on till November this year, but in the view of UP elections, whether that will continue, that remains to be seen. But today is going to be a big push by the Bharatiya Janata Party to highlight all the works that have been done, not only during the tenure since 2014, but also what exactly Narendra Modi has done since he became the Chief Minister of Gujarat as well. So all of that has to be highlighted according to the top leadership of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and it's not just the state units of the party, but also the district levels have been asked to push and to highlight and to reach out to the people, thanking Pradhan Mantri by sending approximately 5 crore postcards that have to be sent from all across the country. There will be videos that will be made at the vaccination center that has been asked by the BJP with beneficiaries thanking Pradhan Mantri. There will be the party has also asked the booth level workers to reach out to the ration centers where the free ration is being distributed under Pradhan Mantri Garib Anna Yojana, and make videos of the beneficiaries thanking and wishing Pradhan Mantri. So all of these are definitely, it is a part of the celebration that will go on for 20 days, but also in the garb of that there is also a big political push by the BJP in the wake up of upcoming elections. Gagi?
All right, Akshay, thanks so much for joining us with that. So lots planned for the Prime Minister's birthday today, and it's going to carry on for the next 20 days. Now, news from the stock markets, and the markets also seem to be celebrating today. Markets are at an all-time high. The Nifty trading above 17,700. Sensex trading above 59,400. Let's go across to Sakshi Bajaj for more. And Sakshi, so a great day at the stock markets today as well. Tell us what's driving the markets.
That's right, Gargi. Another day, another high for India's stock markets. The Nifty opening and currently trading above the 17,700 mark, while the Sensex also trading above 59,500 right now, surging over 400 points, while market openings saw marginal gains across sectors. Currently, financials and real estate stocks are really driving those gains. Experts, of course, believe we are, of course, seeing relentless buying, and India's equity moves are historic. However, they suggest caution going ahead, as valuations are now getting expensive.
All right, Sakshi, thanks so much for joining us with those details. So the markets reaching new highs today. 4 scooters sold every second at the busiest times. On the first day that Ola's new electric scooter was up for sale, the response was overwhelming for the company itself, which is closing the sales at midnight tonight. And the sale is through an app, and delivery will start in October to the customer's home. Maya Sharma spoke to Ola Electric's Chief Marketing Officer, Varun Dubey.
This is the new entrant onto the Indian roads, the Ola electric scooter. Now, it was launched a while ago, but sales actually began this week. And joining us, Varun Dubey, who is Chief Marketing Officer of Ola Electric. So sales started, people putting their money now on this scooter. What has the response been like?
Man, the response has been amazing. We're really humbled by the love and the enthusiasm consumers have shown for the product. Right from the day we started reservations a couple of months ago, we launched last month in August 15th, and then we started purchase yesterday. And the scooters are really flying off the shelves. We are selling 4 scooters every second.
4 scooters every second are being sold.
Yes, 4 scooters every second. So I think it's very clear that consumers have really committed to electric. We sold about 600 crores worth of product yesterday, and I think that's roughly how much the entire two-wheeler industry sells in a day. So we outsold the entire two-wheeler industry in a day. So it's been what it means really to me is that the consumers are really ready to take electric forward. They want the best products, and with the Ola S1, that's what's happening. In fact, the demand has been so substantial and frankly a little unexpected for us. Although we are optimistic, we did not anticipate so much demand still. We are actually going to shut purchase today at midnight. So, any of your viewers who have reserved but have not yet purchased, I encourage them to purchase that before 12 o'clock tonight, before midnight, so that, we can make sure that we are able to deliver this.
Now, speaking of the future as well, in the old days, people would come, try out the bike, take it for a ride, see if they liked it. That's not happening now. What is the buying process?
Oh, well, the buying process is simple. I think we've built one of the best, probably the best digital buying process ever made, certainly in the automotive experience. Consumers can come online, they can check the scooter out, and they can then just buy it in the app.
On the app?
On the app, that's it. And we have a fully digital process. Right now consumers are paying us the down payment of 20,000, and then as we get closer to their delivery timeline, they can pay us the balance again online, or they can take attractive loans from all the major banks. And then the scooter will just show up. We'll home deliver the scooter, it'll just show up in their house. We'll home deliver the scooter, absolutely. Why do they need to go anywhere? They're our customers, right? We need to take care of their pain. So we will ensure that the scooter reaches them. And even service, etc., they can just book the appointment on the app and somebody will come and solve it. They don't need to go anywhere.
What would you like to see? What kind of changes would you like to see in the ecosystem to actually encourage even more people to get electric?
I think, if you look at the overall scenario, if the policy environment is clearly very favorable. I think the government has done a lot. I don't think we need anything else from the government. The consumer is ready. Right? Clearly, if you look at our numbers, consumers are speaking loud and clear saying, hey, we want electric. I think the onus is now on the industry, really to build great products and put it out there for the consumer to see. And, I'm sure consumers are going to pick those up. Right? They're certainly buying our scooters by the truckloads. So that's good. I think the other important point is that there is also someone has to look at this more holistically. Right? Electric has to be seen as an ecosystem play. For example, in our case, we built the Future Factory, which is the largest two-wheeler factory in the world, which certainly is coming in handy
to meet demand at 4 scooters a second. Yes,
absolutely. And what that has done is that beyond our own engineering that we have put in the scooter with the key products key components that we have made, the motor, the battery, the vehicle computers are all designed and made by us. It also fosters an entire ecosystem.
With Govind Murthy, Maya Sharma in Bengaluru for NDTV.
News now from Hyderabad, where in a dramatic turn of events, even as multiple teams were on the lookout for an accused in the child rape and murder case, the body of the suspect was found on a railway track more than 100 kilometers away. The police say it is a case of suicide.
Body of suspected accused found on a railway track in Rajaram, Warangal, over 100 kilometers from Hyderabad. Railway employees say they saw a suspicious man on the track hit by an oncoming train.
మళ్ళీ ఈ బాయిల దగ్గర వాళ్ళు ఎవరో చూసి బండి పడ్డాడు అని మాకు చెప్పారు. ఇట్లా బాయి దగ్గర చెప్పేసరికి మేము మళ్ళీ వెనక్కి వచ్చేసాం. వెనక్కి వచ్చేసరికి ఇట్లా అదే వ్యక్తి ఆ పోలికలు ఉన్నట్టు వీళ్ళందరూ గుర్తించారు సార్. రైల్వే అలా చెప్పిన తర్వాత నేను 100 కాల్ కొట్టేసాను. 100 కాల్ పెట్టా. వాడే కదా ఏమన్నా.
ఐ విట్నెస్ టు ద ఇన్సిడెంట్, he has informed that he found this man walking on the track and he tried to get him out of the track, asking him, but this fellow started running, and it's a clear case of suicide as per the eyewitness.
The tattoos on the hands and other physical features used to identify the body as that of Palakonda Raju, for who multiple teams of Telangana police were on the lookout for the last 1 week. This after the body of a 6-year-old child reported missing was found inside his house at a colony in Hyderabad. Autopsy had revealed rape and murder. Hyderabad is a city with the maximum number of CCTV cameras anywhere in the country, and it would have been very difficult for a suspect to be moving around here without getting spotted, and that is why the police thought that he may have moved to a rural area. The accused had last been seen on CCTV footage on the outskirts of the city. The heinous crime had provoked multiple protests demanding justice. Many political leaders visited the victim's family. A Telangana minister publicly pronounced encounter killing of the accused.
हमने तो स्टेटमेंट नहीं सुना है, लेकिन अगर किसी ने भी ऐसा स्टेटमेंट दिया है तो उसको हम लोग इस तरीके से देखें कि इतना बड़ा जब सेंसेशनल क्राइम होता है, कॉन्शियंस ऑफ द सोसाइटी गेट शेकन. इसीलिए इस तरह के स्टेटमेंट को हम लोग ज्यादा सीरियसली नहीं लें.
In Hyderabad, with camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
And finally, let's bring you some entertainment news. Hollywood star Ryan Reynolds stars in Free Guy, which releases today in cinemas. In this exclusive interview with NDTV's Rohit Khilnani, Ryan shares some exciting information about his good friend Hugh Jackman and tells us what his daughter thinks of his new role.
Hi Rohit, how are you?
Good, Ryan. How are you? The last time we met, I asked you this. We discussed this, that your daughter was telling everyone her dad is Deadpool. Then you fixed it by doing Pikachu. Now she will tell everyone that her dad is the Free Guy. You're proud of that one?
Yeah. Yes, actually I am. She's, her daddy's when she tells people I'm Deadpool, they don't believe her. When she tells them I'm Pikachu, they think she's crazy. And then Free Guy is much more sensible. I feel like that she's going to get away with that one.
Amazing, adorable. Hugh Jackman told me that if he could put you through his character, he could put you in a chamber and find out your past. If you could put him in your movie Free Guy, which character would he be?
Well, spoiler alert, you know that Hugh Jackman's in this movie.
I didn't say that.
Okay. I don't mind. I'll give some spoilers away. If he could play anyone else, I think he would probably be a good Antoine. He'd be a good villain. Taika obviously I think is irreplaceable, but Hugh hasn't played a lot of villains in his life. He's done a few, but this one would be pretty fun, I think.
Amazing. Everybody tells me that you think like a producer. Even your director, Sean, told me you think like a producer. What has made you think like a producer always, which is a great thing?
Oh, I think necessity is the mother of invention. And I think that I became a writer and I became a producer just to stay alive. I mean, I literally did it out of, a pure fear of failure. Sometimes I had to just do it to get by. And so I think it's just made me think of things a little bit more in the macro sense. I tend to really understand schedules and understand, physical production, which is, its own unique kind of complex matrix on a set. But I love storytelling, as a producer, you want to make sure that you're always telling the story. So I'm good at letting go of myself. I'm good at looking at me as one of the many elements that we need to work on for the movie. So even in the edit room, I kind of refer to my character's name, not as me. Because I could say oh man, he sucks in that moment. Let's cut that moment out. And it doesn't make it personal. It doesn't make it weird. It's just, and then, if I do it enough, then Sean will also do it and he won't feel weird. And so it works well.
Right. I don't have much time. So, a serious question to you. What if, Ryan, that one day you find out that all this is real? That
all this is like a simulation, you mean? Or
yeah. Just like you asked in the movie, right?
Yeah, it certainly, has crossed my mind. It's particularly the last few years. There's so many weird things that have happened that I don't, you got to wonder, is this just a big joke? I don't, how could this possibly be the real world that we live in? So, yeah, it's a question I've asked myself a few times, but I don't want to go down that rabbit hole too deeply. If it is a simulation, I want to just try to enjoy my time while I'm playing this game or whatever it is. So.
Right, fantastic. I have to say, I can safely tell the audience I've watched the movie and it's really entertaining. Ryan, once again, thank you for entertaining us.
I so appreciate that. Thank you for the interview. It was really nice to see you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.